Good morning again from West Cork, and welcome to episode 2 of my YouTube videos on as to how you might prepare for a long distance camper van trip, whether it is within Ireland, UK, or down to the continent, or even further afield. So today, episode 2, we're going to discuss gas. Now the first question is, why would you use gas at all in the first place? There's a lot of people now that delicatessens and supermarkets were never so well equipped with takeaway meals and hot meals for a very long time, from 7 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night. So you might decide, I'm not going to cook at all. I don't need gas. But a lot of people then go wild camping, they go hiking, and they go to a car park that's fairly remote. And when they come back from their hike, especially in bad weather, they need to have a cup of tea or coffee or hot noodles or whatever. So it's almost a necessity now to have gas of some description in your camper van, where it is a factory built one like mine, or a home built Volkswagen or Renault or whatever van you might convert, or just a day van. You need something to cook up something quickly off grid. Now, a lot of the new campsites now, if you get hooked up, they offer electricity at varying degrees of power. 2 amp, 6 amp is the norm, but now some sites are offering up to 20 amp. Now, the only thing about that is that if you go for a 20 amp light, generally they read the meter before when you check in, and they read when you leave, and you pay for per unit, because a lot of people now are using air fryers, slow cookers to do their cooking. And I've seen that in Sicily a couple of years ago. It's not all just gas cooking, but that comes at a cost. And again, you have to be on a campsite hooked up to use all that modern appliances. So back to the gas. I started off in 1975 in my first camping trip, and I thought I was doing a great thing. I took one of these with there's a little ring that screws onto the top of it to dingle in 1975, and I thought I could cook a 6-course meal. And soon I discovered that the potatoes were only after getting warm in the pot when the gas was gone. I don't know what I was thinking. So that's the basic size. Would be good enough, let's say, someone hiking, put the ring onto it, hang it off your backpack, go up the hill and come back and light up, heat a tin of beans, heat maybe a mug of water for a cup of coffee, or maybe several. But for long time camper vanning, really it's not an option. The next option is this little camping stove here. A very handy little yoke, and I've seen them in use, and people doing the all-day breakfast on it, on a couple of rowing events now. The Commercial Rowing Club are involved in, and there's a canister that goes into it, and these canisters are widely available in various makes, and these little portable stoves are widely available as well, and you can control the heat in the front or whatever. So they're very popular too. You might get away with a week, one meal a day maybe, with one of those, with one canister, and if you have a few spares with just somewhere safe, you could survive quite happily. So we move beyond then. The next level up then is camping gas. GAZ is probably originally a French company, widely available in France, obviously enough, and in Ireland. There's loads of dealers. Cork Gas Centre in Cork stock all the bits, and other places as well. But they're about 9 litres of gas. They contain probably half the size of your standard household gas, and quite good for Volkswagen and similar conversions where space is at a premium. I'll show a picture of that there now in the link, because I didn't find anyone locally this morning when I was gathering up my props for my video. Now, I should say before I go any further that gas should be treated with the utmost respect. Most of the conversions these days have to have a gas-proof locker. This my gas setup here. The 2 bottles are on the outside of the vehicle. There's holes in the bottom of the storage for any gas leakage to drop out onto the ground and not cause any problem inside. When we were on holidays last month there, I saw a few homemade conversions, builders vans and that type of thing, with the gas bottle and the ring inside the vehicle. Not a good idea. Professional advice is always good to get before you do your own conversion. The gas ideally should be inside in a gas-proof locker. There's a metal box with a rubber seal on the door, and that's your gas is inside that, with a hole down through the floor of the van out onto the ground again. So if you have any leak, and the most important of all, at night time before you go to bed, turn off the valve on the bottle, so that you're minimizing, where possible, any possibility of a leak during the night. No motorhome of any size, conversion or not, or factory built, should be have CO2, the silent killer, or even indeed a combined CO2 stroke LPG alarm to alert you if there was any issue during the night when you're conked out. So then, having deal with the smaller ones and the safety aspect of it, the next size up then is the bigger bottles. This is your standard Irish bottle. I was fortunate in that the previous camper van, I was using French bottles because I came back through France from Germany, and the French bottles were ideal because the space at the back was sloping slightly, and the Irish bottle with the collars on them wouldn't fit, and some camper vans that I've seen. So the French one are ideal because there's no collar on the bottle, and they're harder to lift in and out, obviously, but there's no collar to cause any obstruction. Now, you're going to ask the question then is, what happens when your gas runs out? In Ireland, with the French stroke German, it's the same one in Holland and Belgium as well, widely used all over the continent. A threaded fitting onto the bottle. Well, what we do here is that we're only an hour and maybe an hour and a half from the Keller plant in Whitegate, and I take down the bottles down there every maybe year whenever they run out, if I'm not on the continent when they run out, and I get the bottle filled up below in Whitegate. You wait about 10 minutes, quarter of an hour, and the bottles are refilled. Now, last year we were lucky on our way back in Croatia. The gas ran out almost at the end of our trip, and I got 2 new bottles in France, because that's an important thing, because Keller or any other refillers won't fill the bottle unless it has been tested in the previous 10 years. So I got 2 newly painted, tested ones in France in the Super U supermarket on our way up through France last year. So I'm good for another 9 years now of 2 tested bottles thing. And we had enough gas now. We left home with a full and maybe half full bottle leaving back in May, and we arrived back cooking 6 days a week and not running out of gas. Now, in Spain and Portugal, if you do run out of gas, you've left home with a UK bottle or an Irish bottle or French bottle, whatever make you have, and you run out, your next problem then is getting, you can't get them refilled as you would easily in Ireland. So the next time you maybe need Spain. Lucky enough, Spain have the same, and Portugal have the same gas system as we have in Ireland. They're push on fitting that goes onto the bottle. So your problem then is that you have no empty bottle to take to the gas station or the filling place or the petrol station that stocked them. You have no empty bottle. Now, I was lucky in 2015 when I was scrambling and scratching my head, and I was able to see one day near a skip that was being chucked out, and it was all dust and straw and everything. But I went to the Repsol station in Spain with my empty bottle. He gave me a full one, and away we went. And then, luckily enough, I was after taking with me an adapter. This is an adapter to go from Irish and Spanish and Portugal to the French stroke German bottles that I have in here. So those hoses go onto this fitting, and so I put this onto the bottle then. Now, that theory then as well is tested, because you now have 3 bottles now. So after you put in a Spanish bottle in here, we'll say to get you for your second month or whatever, you put in your Spanish bottle here with the adapter on it. These are widely available on Amazon and various gas shops, and you put that on. You now have that bottle then to carry around for the rest of your holiday, which is a bit of a pain, but you put it in the boot or whatever nice and safely, and make sure it is chocked up. So it's a handy kind of setup if you do get stuck. But as I say, we survived for 6 weeks cooking 6 out of the 7 days ourselves, and we had no issue whatsoever. Now, I'm going to show you in a second. I'll have to stop the video and redo how we cooked, and having discussed about gas and what happens next, I'll do a short video now and edit it all together in a minute. Thank you. You have all your gas sorted of whatever type you go for, and the length of time that you need it for is cooking. Now, we have a 3-burner ring within the vehicle, but I can tell you now that when you're at temperatures of nearly 40 degrees in Spain and Portugal, cooking inside in the vehicle, whether it is professionally built, factory built, or your own home conversion, is not a good idea, because you're already trying to keep the temperature down. So with the last couple of years we've been using this. Now, there's loads of other makes. I'm not recommending this at all. I find it wonderful, but there's other makes available there, even a single ring. In hot weather, you could get away with a single ring because you can sit it on the ground and cook the first phase of the dinner, or whatever you're having, pasta, whatever it will be, stir fry, whatever, and put that aside, and it's not going to go cold. So there's no wind and rain to worry about, and then finish off the rest of what you're having for your dinner. This is brilliant, this one, because you can cook saucepan in it, whatever you want to put a saucepan in it. But it came as well with these 2 plates. One has a griddle plate in it, ridge, which is lovely for steaks or burgers or whatever, fish or whatever, and this here for kebabs or whatever you want to cook. It's ideal, and like this is small now, but mostly for 2 people, it's perfect. And I had fitted a few years ago this outdoor barbecue pint, so this connects directly to those 2 bottles inside there, so I don't have to have a separate bottle sitting on the ground outside. It's very handy because you can unplug at any time and put this away into the boot, and away you go. I've seen a few people, even with big camper vans there in Spain last month, and they're having a separate one of these bottles full out on the ground, which we have to store and carry, and it's heavy enough to be trying to fit in the danger of a movie about when you're driving. When for relatively small money you could fit an outdoor gas pint and close it up, and you don't have to worry about taking a 3rd bottle with you on your holidays. As I say, there's various means. Keeping the heat out of the camper van in a hot climate is essential. So they're my tips about gas, and if you have any questions, you can put them in the box below and give me a thumbs up or down, whatever. And the next episode I will be doing probably next week now at this stage will be on electrics, about what type of leads that you may need, and the different standards that some campsites have and haven't, as the case may be. So I hope you enjoyed watching it, and as I say, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up or whatever, and we'll talk to you again probably next week now, and I'll give you about the electrics.